Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Too Weird Didn't Watch, the show where we make fun of movies based on nothing but their wonderful and odd descriptions.
I'm Brantley.
I'm Albert, and you may notice that our sound is a little bit different this episode. That's because we're recording in a different location with a different microphone.
Different part of Florida.
Well, it's the same state. We're not...
I didn't say different part of America. I said part of Florida.
I had to drive for an hour to get here. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to dig right into it.
Okay.
First up is a movie called Nemesis. In the future, chaos is rampant as information terrorists, quote unquote, information terrorists.
Don't we have those now?
No.
Isn't that the whole thing with Hillary Clinton?
This is about WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
This is in the future of 2016.
This is the Hillary Clinton story. It's the projection of if she becomes president has to deal with this.
WikiLeaks and Russia try to influence the presidential election.
Every 20 minutes, you see Trump in the background. I called it.
Wrong.
I don't think so. Does little hand wave videos.
Yeah, it's great. It's just great. It's gonna be great, and it's a great plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they threaten to destroy order in society by getting Trump elected. Alex, a burned-out LA cyborg cop, is the best at what he does.
Being burnt out?
Nah, I mean, maybe he's, like, really good at chess.
Well, I mean, he is a cop, but he's burnt out at that, so something else he does has to be good. He's really good at being a cyborg. I'm the best at having robot parts.
How could you... That's not even a thing. You can't be the best at being a robot.
I think Darth Vader was a pretty good cyborg, but Grievous was better. He didn't, have a light bright on his chest.
I love this next one. But when one of the terrorists calls him a machine, Alex questions his humanity and decides to leave the force.
So, wait. This is the first time that's come up out of all the races. He's like, "You're a machine." I might be. Chief, I can't do it anymore.
It's like you're like 60, or got the 60-year-old cop who's like veteran of the force, right? And like somebody walks in, he's like, "You know you're gonna die one day, right?" And he's like, "Oh my gosh, I never thought about that until just this second. Dang nabbit, you're right.
I have a mechanical arm. I can't be a cop. I don't even know if I'm a human anymore."
So he's gonna leave the force.
Yeah.
But his final assignment is to apprehend his former cyborg partner and lover.
I actually took that from the word partner.
They were going there. They were like, no. I know you were going to make a joke about it, but they were both. They were both partners.
My main assumption
lovers.
was not, fellow cop. It was in the bedroom.
Partner and lover, Jared.
Okay.
That's a great future cyborg punk name. Like, I'm Jared from the future.
I mean, names are going to go away.
No, but it feels like one of those names that's weird to put
like
in
Paco, like that other one?
Yeah, exactly.
What's with cyborgs having blase name lately?
No, the cyborg's Alex, which feels like an okay name for a cyborg.
Alex is okay, but he's also a cyborg.
No, it's just his lover. Oh, no, you're right. It is a cyborg partner. I forgot.
Yeah, Alex and Jared, the gay cyborg cops, they were lovers.
Listen, my job is to read, not to pay attention to what I'm saying. Jared, who's about to deliver sensitive data to cyborg terrorists who wish to wage war against humans. Are these different
from the information terrorists? Are there two groups?
Yeah, no, they're different.
Oh, okay.
Different terrorists.
This is not a fun
world. Information terrorists are already threatening to destroy society, and now the cyborg
Hillary Clinton, get it together.
Wish to also wage war against humans. Oh. There's a racist thing here.
So it's like Deus Ex.
I can play Deus Ex, so I can speculate.
That's basically it.
Okay.
There are cyborgs and there are humans. The humans hate the cyborgs. The cyborgs are like, no! And that's about the entirety of the game.
Isn't that also X-Men? Magneto's like, these humans don't like us. We're going to have to do something about that. And Prefer's like, no, you can't! And he's like, yes, I will. And then they have like 20 movies about that.
And then he's Batman, apparently.
I'm Batman.
They both were kids.
If they crossed over, if Batman was an X-Man, he would totally just put that, he would deal with it instantly. He would be Magneto, except Magneto would be the good guy. The final line of this, which I love, is, so we've gone through the whole, like, he's going up to his cyborg lover, Alex.
Real talk, I would like to see this as like a sitcom. It's just a future where it's just two gay cyborgs in the future and they're cops and they deal with that. This would be hilarious.
My favorite, though, this is the last line of the thing. Like, they've gone through the whole description, and then somebody at the end of this felt like they needed to add in, is he being played? Which was not something that I had considered ahead of time. I wasn't like, man, I bet this Alex guy is being played in the midst of the information terrorists and the cyborg terrorists.
I mean, it feels like it's just going to be, they're part of an oppressive regime, and he's been supporting because he's been grown up really feeling like they're the good guys, and it turns out it's like, no, they've been wrong the whole time. Which is kind of how about 20% of these movies go.
Okay. I mean, it is wrong for them to be douchebags to people who have mechanical parts in them. I'm speaking as someone who has pins in my arms and is technically a cyborg. Cyborg lives matter.
I'm all human.
Next up, we have Nemesis 2.
Oh, God.
Yes, we're doing one of these. It's a themed episode.
The re-nemesing.
It has been 73 years since Alex failed, and the humans lost the cyborg wars.
Massive spoilers for the last one.
If you were wondering what happened, I like to think that doesn't take place on screen, because I can't imagine this is a large budget movie. So they're just like, the end happens, and he's like, no, humanity will fall, and then it's just like...
It's probably like he does his thing, and he's like, now we see how it goes. And it's because this one is like, Alex failed. Well, thanks!
Also, the fact that he's been able to survive 73 years makes me think maybe he actually was a machine.
He's a robot the whole time.
Like, that was
He's a cyborg, like the Terminator's a cyborg.
He's got like a little pinky finger that's still human. It's like that...
Sorry, the sitcom. I'm still imagining the sitcom where it's like he's just a robot and he's like, I'm a cyborg. No, you're not, Alex.
Well, that does raise some interesting questions of like holding on to your humanity, like as you slowly turn machine. Is like it's like this fingernail is the last thing that remains of my true humanness.
I mean, that's like the it's some ship thing, but it's like the broom thing.
Okay,
you have a broom. You replace
the ship of Theseus.
Yeah,
right.
You replace enough parts, and eventually you don't have any of the originals, but you could still take the original parts and make a really crappy ship. Which one is the original?
Well, no, the ship of Theseus is about. Theseus is sailing around a really long voyage, and then like his mast snaps, and he has to replace the net mast, and so a lot of the boards snap, and they have to be replaced, and like one by one, all of the pieces of the ship are replaced. Let's not get into the logistics of how that happened and how they replaced like the hull girding pieces without just replacing the entire ship. Regardless, that's not the point of it. The point is the whole ship gets replaced, but not instantaneously. By the time it gets back to port, is it the same ship?
That's why in John Dies at the End, they just do the axe part.
Yes, because that makes a lot more sense.
In Doctor Who, they use a broom.
It has been 73 years since Alex failed and the humans lost the cyborg wars. Since then, the humans have been enslaved. Scientists have developed a new DNA strain, which could signal the end of cyborgs, and they inject it into a volunteer. The stupidity of that sentence just made me lose all of my faith in everything.
We're going to give a thing new DNA, a person who's willing, and that means no more will there be people with robot parts.
Like, is it DNA that just makes your body reject any foreign body? Because then you just have people with, like, the worst allergies. Because that's what allergies are.
Yeah.
They're just like your body being like, there's a dust! No! A dust! Get it out!
Maybe it's just whatever their robot parts are made of.
It only rejects like steel pieces or silicon or whatever?
Maybe?
I don't know how these cyborgs work in this year.
I don't know how DNA works in this universe. DNA. I think I said E.
When the cyborgs learn of the woman and the baby, they list both for termination. I'm assuming this volunteer was pregnant at the time? Okay. They injected DNA into Magic Baby
The
Lady.
baby's future cyborg messiah, or whatever.
No, definitely.
Or for the humans, not the cyborgs.
Okay, well that too.
Or he'll bring peace.
The cyborgs are like, no, we can't have this. Which is fair, right? I mean, not killing a person and killing a baby... Not on the not cool list. However, if you know, like, this baby will bring the end to cyborg kind. If I'm a cyborg, I'm going to understand the people that want to kill the baby, at least. So I can get down with that, to a certain point. They list both for termination. To escape, she takes a stolen cyborg ship and transports back in time to East Africa in 1980. Where the mother is killed, but the baby is saved. What is this series doing?
So, wait,
They have time travel now, which was not a thing in the first movie as far as we can tell.
It's in the background. Just as he's walking to hear on the news, and the new time shuttle arrived today, bringing...
Visit Scenic 1980!
It's the only time they can go to. That's why the Terminator wound up then.
That would be amazing if there was... It's just like, we can go back in time. but
to
it's
1 year?
just to the one place for whatever like weird scientific. Because I love time travel with limits, right? Like in Primer, it was the idea that you had to stay for the amount of time you had to go back in the machine. So, like, if you wanted to go back a year, you had to sit in the time machine for a year or a day or whatever is how long you're going to go back. This is another fun concept, where it's just like the time travel only goes back to the one time.
In Planet of the Apes, there's basically a hole in time above the Earth. How it stays in orbit, I don't know, but whatever.
I would like the idea better that they just went really fast or something.
Well, no, because they go back in time.
I know.
That's the thing that the two, like, time goes forward on both sides of the hole, but the points are kind of linked. It's the same distance every time.
In Planet of the Apes, they like send a missile through the hole to the past to try to nuke the past people?
No, there's just the apes rise up and the humans freak out and then nuclear war happens. The apes are like, guys, you're crazy. Clearly you can't run the planet. We're in charge now. You're slaves. Haha.
I know, but like in the future there's this hole in time that goes back to present day.
Present day of like 1977.
So they were like,
which was
send the apes back in time?
Yeah. The third movie, because at the end of the second movie, they blow up the freaking planet.
Okay. Fair enough.
They're like, we're going to end the series here, and so they ignite the Alpha Omega bomb, which destroys the Earth, and there's like, but then these apes went back in time, so more movies happen.
It takes 20 years, but the cyborg bounty hunter Nebula finally locates the girl named Alex and travels back in time to terminate her.
They had to wait for her to show up in the history books?
Yeah, that makes it good. I was gonna say, like, first of all, just first mention of this cyborg hunter Nebula. I'm just like, oh, by the way, Nebula? Yeah. She's been here the whole time. But Nebula's, like, sitting there like, they got away. I just gotta sit around. Like, she has to wait in real time 20 years for the girl to age 20.
Again, assuming it's like, connected. You can only go back a set amount of time.
I hate that in time travel where they're like, we have to wait for the past to catch up somehow.
And a DC thing, I don't remember what it was, but it was like one of the Teen Titans gets stuck in like a time loop.
Yeah.
And the other one's like, we have to do something before she gets in trouble. And one of them's like, guys, time travel. We can go get her whenever we want.
Yeah. But anyway, she goes back in time to terminate her. Terminate her. That is the plot to Terminator, I get, but it's with the Nebula person. Anyway.
So the robot with boobs.
Which leads us to Nemesis 3. In this wasteland of despair, the path to redemption is not clear. Which, that's the opening line, and I'm assuming we're still in it was 1980.
1980.
And now it's the year 2000.
2000. It's the millennium. Y2K happened.
Y2K happened, and now
the girl herself was Y2K.
We're in a wasteland of despair.
It's because, the nukes.
The path to redemption is not clear. Thanks for that description. They only have 5 or 6 lines at most, right? Mm-hmm. And they're going to start off with, in the wasteland of despair, the path to redemption is not clear. Leave that for the opening narration of the movie.
That probably is the opening narration of the movie. They're just like, I'll just write that down.
But Alex, a mutant created with superhuman DNA, carries the seed of hope for all mankind.
Is this the same Alex in the whole... they calls it time paradox? Or is he named after the...
This is the lady Alex. This is a girl Alex.
So we had 2 Alexes?
Yeah, well, okay, so Alex took the baby and the mother back in time to 1980s Africa.
I didn't know he went back in time, too.
I think so. All right, let me look back at movie 2. This time Alex finds out... Nope, that was movie 3, sorry. Yeah, she steals a cyborg ship and transports back in time to 1980, where the cyborg ship causes a rift in the timeline because that introduces new technology, which is why we're not in the same timeline now.
Oh, okay.
Obviously. But I'm assuming that male Alex named female Alex after himself because it's one of those conveniently androgynous names.
Or, the mom did.
Or that.
Because he, saved her. He died getting her back in time.
She was into him and she, found out that he was a gay cyborg and she was like, But it's, mechanical. How does that even work?
I know you're about 99.99 robot. Your left iris has a little bit of human in there. But I'm into you. He goes, sorry, I like the dudes. It's like, darn it! Oh, well, pregnant anyways. To the past.
So by the way, she carries the seed of hope for all mankind, which this movie makes it sound like now we're on the human side. The cyborgs for the first 2 movies were like, we have to rise up against the humans, and the humans were like, no, we're going to make it hard for the cyborgs, and now we're like, Alex is the last hope for humanity. No, she's not! At this point in the timeline, it's all humans all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, again, that's kind of how Planet of the Apes goes.
In a struggle for domination that will never end, again, spoilers, I guess, the cyborg...
They really wanted to make more movies, didn't they?
The cyborg enemy, designed by humans as weapons without a soul... This is really scanted against the cyborgs.
I mean, you could just build a robot at that point.
It's like, they're humans, but without a soul! When they get killed, we don't have to worry about them going to hell!
Okay, seriously, if you're... Without a soul implies that it just follows orders. At that point, just make a robot.
That literally, that they've like got a scientific proof of the soul in this universe. When these guys die, they don't turn into ghosts. Remember all those ghosts that we have wandering around from the battles that we fought? You know how we've been trying so hard to develop immortality because we've got bazillions of ghosts at this point?
This
will solve that.
Do cyborg ghosts keep their robot parts? Or is it just the organic parts with like holes in them?
No, they don't have ghosts because they are without souls.
Not these. I mean, like the original timeline.
Oh.
Because Alex A1 Prime, I don't know, the original Alex, probably had a soul if they have them in this universe.
Let's say that this is one of those like self-perpetuating prophecies where this is why the cyborgs came about initially. Maybe they don't.
And that feels like what they're building towards.
Again, this is a really stupid definition of cyborg.
So, okay. I'm going to try to map this out. So, mutants showed up. And they don't really know why. They don't know about the time travel. So we'll build cyborgs to kill them all. Which then leads to movie A, where cyborgs just there, but they're kind of oppressed.
Right.
And then it leads to a war. And then movie 2, they're like, we need to build a thing to kill all the cyborgs. We have this new DNA we made magically. We'll inject in this lady.
We'll make sure we have only people with souls.
We inject this lady, which makes, baby Alex, who goes back in time and is the original mutant.
Yes. You got it.
Okay.
You're tracking.
I just making sure.
It makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it does follow.
Within sci-fi tropes, it makes sense. Cyborgs without souls.
Yes. The cyborg enemy, designed by humans as weapons without a soul, will not stop until this divine spark of humanity is eliminated. Wow, with the humans, being the best thing in this movie. This time, Alex finds that she has 20 half-sisters. We're waiting for her return to 2077?
Technically, her dad's probably still there.
Also, are they waiting for her to get there the long way? Just man, I really hope she's long-lived. She'd be about 120 by that point.
I guess?
Central Command, but who knows who that is, wants Alex captured alive and scanned to see if her DNA is strong and more powerful strain than the normal.
That's not how DNA works.
That's not how DNA works. That's okay. It's B-movie science.
It's like I was watching Godzilla the series last night. There's an episode where they find a barrel of pure DNA, which doesn't make any sense. The whole episode is like, it's a clean slate ready to be molded. That doesn't make any sense. And then it's like this shape-shifting.
It's just in a barrel too. It's not like.
Well, I mean, this guy made it, and then he was stolen before he completed his experiment. But it's this blue goop in a barrel, but it can form other things. It's a pure DNA. That's not how DNA works at all.
This part here comes in. It says, but Alex may be too tough for Farnsworth to capture. Thanks for telling us about Farnsworth there at the end. Just throw in that, by the way, Farnsworth, she's in there. It might be too tough for Alex to capture her.
Because of the name, I'm assuming this is in continuity with Futurama, by the way.
Okay, I don't know anything about Futurama.
There's Professor Farnsworth there, and he's part of a long line of mad scientists.
Alright. Are you ready for Nemesis 4?
Yeah, sure, why not? Are we back in the original timeline now?
It is the year 2080. So yes. Where the population has become heavily cyborg integrated. So I guess
this is in movie 2 now, I think.
I think it's probably after movie 2. Movie 3 takes place in the past. Movie 3 is alright, well...
we don't really know exactly when movie 1 takes place.
No, but I'm assuming
But what year did they say they want her to get back to?
They went to 1980.
No, the sisters want her to get back to.
2077. So we know that's when the injection happens and the new human is created. So movie 1 takes place before that.
Well, yeah, they said that movie 2 takes place 80 years after movie 1.
Not 80 years.
20 years, 30 years, whatever.
Oh, 73 years. Wow. Wait. So have So movie 2 starts out with 70. It's been 73 years since Alex failed and the humans lost the cyborg wars.
Alex was in the far future of 2002, I think.
That's right.
2004, somewhere in there. Yeah, 2004.
Okay. I don't have the date for when this was
We
made,
are in the
by
alternate
way.
timeline, by the way. We didn't have this whole loop going on. This is our parallel universe next to our own.
The population becomes heavily cyborg integrated. The genetically engineered Alex Sinclair works as a killer for hire.
So this is Alex 3.
I think, or it's one of the half-siblings we talked about in the previous one.
Like, they got her DNA. Like,
yeah.
At some point she was captured in the previous movie, probably, and they got some of her DNA, and they
But
just
all
made
of the
a bunch
people
of
who
Alexes.
use her DNA have to call themselves Alex because that's how DNA works, apparently.
Well, I mean, they're trying to figure it out, so they just have the multiple Alex, and they just use them as workers.
Okay. Her boss, Bernardo. Bernardo and Jared just hanging out at the Dumb Names Club.
With a plethora of Alex.
If you're a listener, like, again, Jared is a fine name, Bernardo is a fine name. Not a great future name. Cautions her that she is getting old and would suggest that she retire. Maybe it's the original Alex and she's like 120.
She does have that strong DNA to keep her going.
But asks her to do one last job.
Clean the tables.
Well, also, I gotta point out that the first movie started out with the guy being like, I'm gonna retire. His boss is like, you need to do one last job. So we are going sort of full circle, but not literally.
There's a lot of circles in this.
I actually like this. I feel like that it does sort of make its own weird internal sense.
I feel like as a series, it would be fine, but watching any of the movies individually would be kind of painful.
However, after Alex completes her kill, her handler, Earl Typhoon. Now there's a name from the future.
Now, hang on.
Her.
We have two options here. Either his first name is Earl and his last name is Typhoon because he wanted to sound cool.
Right.
Or he is nobility. And he has a great last name. I am the Earl of Typhoon.
And there's in the future, because of global warming, there's like, we have a great white spot.
Jupiter, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like over somewhere in Africa.
Yeah.
Ever since 1980.
And he's the Earl of it.
Yes.
Listen, you start playing with time travel, you break the world.
He informs her that she killed the wrong person and attempts to eliminate her. Not before she dispatches him.
I mean, I would say that's, kind of harsh for messing up, but she did kill a person.
Yeah, she did.
And the original person she's supposed to murder is just running around, probably having no idea what's going on.
Possibly. Or it's him.
So now it's the two trained assassins going at each other?
Finding out that she has, in fact, killed the son of a mob boss. How do you make that mistake? He was like, all right, I want you to go kill Joe Blow over there. She's like, Joe
Maybe they were
Blow.
buds.
Maybe?
They were just best friends, and she was trying to go for the best friend, but she accidentally hit the kid.
Alex discovered that there is now a bounty of $100 million on her.
What's that in inflation in the future?
It's like $6.
I don't think it's that bad, but it's...
By the time he gets to 2080, yeah, it is.
I was more than that.
All her former colleagues are after her. At the same time, she is haunted by a mystery woman dressed in black that she believes is an angel of death.
It's not the original, but the second Alex.
It's like, it turns out she did have a soul.
She wasn't a cyborg.
No, that's true. I wanted it to be like all of the cyborgs turned out to have a soul, but it was the same soul, and it was the angel of death. Just let me have this dream. It says that she believes it's the angel of death, which implies that it's not, because the person writing the review knows the truth. But I want to believe
that it's the angel of
the
death.
Angel of Death. Like, you guys have messed this timeline up so bad.
Or she's just enjoying it. It's like, guys, I've never been so busy. It's great. Just getting bored in the old timeline. There's just famine in every couple of wars. You guys have wars like every week.
Yeah.
Trained assassins every third corner.
That is true. There is a lot. She's a trained killer in this future. And this Alex is not a cyborg. Like, they've just forgotten about
they said they were
it's cyborg integrated. But
she's genetically engineered, so she might not be.
I feel like in the fourth movie, they've gotten over the whole war thing. They're like, okay, we get it. Cyborgs and humans don't like each other. Can we have, like, a different story now? We're on the fourth Nemesis. Let's have a different kind of Nemesis.
She won't be a cyborg because if you're in a future where most people are cyborgs, security would just check for the pieces.
Maybe, yeah.
Whereas humans would be able to slip by it easier.
Possibly. But then, humans still wear tech. Like, are you going to be like, oh, you have a cell phone, you're a cyborg. Well, no, it's not on me. Nope. Like, you weren't been wearing that Apple Watch for so
I mean,
long, it's
they're
grafted
probably
into your
able-
skin, you're a cyborg.
I mean, yeah, but she can take that off.
Okay.
Whereas if you have like a mechanical eye and stuff in your brain, you're not gonna be able to like pull that off and slip through an X-ray.
Fair enough. But that's the end of that one, and that is the end of the Nemesis movies that I was able to chase down. So that's the end of our episode.
If there's a fifth one, we'll find it.
We will hunt it down. I like doing these themed ones. There was that one where we did a bunch of Frankenstein ones, and this one's we had
Basket case.
basket case. We did all 3 basket cases, so hopefully we'll get to do some more like this. But that is it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you like this, feel free to leave us a review on iTunes. That would really help us out, assuming it's a nice review. If it's a crappy review, it'll just torpedo us and our dreams will die. And don't do that. Don't do that, you guys. Thanks for putting up with our audio
That
issues.
was a downer.
We will see you next week with another episode of Too Weird Didn't Watch.
Thanks, guys.